on Maynard.com.au. Hey, you!
Hello, everybody. This is Adam Curry from Camp Mofo, that is in the Drone Star State, Austin, Texas, co-host of the No Agenda podcast. You listen to my good buddy Maynard, who I guess is still on the air with this little ditty known as the Dirty Disbelievers.
Our formula is this. We go out, we hit people in the mouth.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the Dirty Disbelievers now, we have a man who is powerful, a man who is a media assassin. Please make welcome Adam Curry from the No Agenda Show. Bit of background on the man. MTV VJ, of course. Of course, he's been whitewashed out of the history of MTV by the organisation, but he'll tell you about that in a minute. He helped develop the podcast standards that we all know, love and use today. With John C. Dvorak, the buzzkill, he presents the No Agenda Show. He watches C-SPAN, which is the American version of APAC, and he listens and reads long, boring legal documents so you don't have to see if there's any bogative content. And he does a great George W. Obama impersonation. Cam Mofo in Austin, Texas, in the morning to Adam Curry.
In the morning. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, Maynard, down there in Oz.
Your No Agenda Show is very popular in Australia. You have people donate to your show sum of money and become knights. And Australia is almost just behind the United States in donation levels, isn't it?
We started a value for value model. We never took advertising. It started off just kind of as a conversation John and I would have amongst each other once a week. Look at what you're spending on entertainment and consider putting us into your entertainment budget. And then we figured that if someone donates up to $1,000, we should make them a knight of the No Agenda Roundtable. Again, another official title. Who died and made the Queen and said that she's the only one that could hand out knighthoods. We feel we have just as much right.
Adam Curry, you strike me as someone that may have been denounced as a dirty disbeliever a couple of times in your life.
Oh, all the time. Ever since I kind of awoke to what was really going on.
What do you think is the distraction of the month?
There's this huge island of debris the size of California floating across the ocean, floating across the Pacific towards America from the Japanese tsunami. I'll bet we'll be following, and they don't have pictures, they have animations of it. I think this will be something that's going to be in the news for a while, and we'll be tracking this debris field, and of course it doesn't really exist.
Kind of like that island of plastic they say exists that you've never actually got good photos of.
This is a really big one. That's a big distraction. And, of course, we always have the presidential slut squad here in America. You know, whenever something whenever we need a distraction, I think the president will call Lindsay Lohan or maybe Lady Gaga. Please do something outrageous. Please get arrested. Do some shoplifting. We need a little bit of a distraction.
Don't look over here.
Nothing to see here.
Ooh, look at that.
So has this island got, like, cars and noodle shops and stuff?
I hope so. I hope so, because I'm going scavenging. I'm going to pick me up a nice Japanese car.
Now you're sounding like the second half of the No Agenda Show, which is where you really go off the rails there, and that is always my favorite part of the show.
Well, I'm happy to hear it because I take great pride in this. Well, I'm a firm believer that there are space wars going on over our heads that we know nothing about. Satellites are zapping each other out of orbit. There's all kinds of weirdness happening. And I'm not entirely a disbeliever in already existing moon bases and perhaps even on Mars. I mean, this is just stuff we don't know.
Is there any celebrity news that would ever come out that would ever surprise you? Is there anything you think that they would not do for publicity?
The way, certainly in the United States, the way media is integrated with politics, and let's be honest, politics is just show business for ugly people. I think it's so deeply ingrained. We see George Clooney, who has some satellite system so he can pay attention to Sudan. We've got celebrities going over all the time. Angelina Jolie, another big offender. Well, maybe what baffled me the most is the lack of...
This image of George Clooney, like in that movie Slip. He's got all these television screens looking around the Sudan. There's a camera in his hut. There's a camera on top in a fishbowl. And he can see everything in the Sudan. And he walks back and forth in his jocks, just smoking.
Yeah, that's it. And he looks good when he does it, by the way. He's a good-looking man, Mr. Clooney. Because his father, known spook, goes back to American University and was in the media himself. But what really shocked me is the lack of outrage about the money that was raised for Haiti. And by the way, if you look at this earthquake in Haiti, no known fault, lots of oil off the coast that was found just previous to this really interesting, anomalous event. We still have hundreds of thousands of people living in tent camps, now infested with cholera, admitted by the United Nations that they brought the cholera into the country, a country that's never had a cholera outbreak. And then we had the Bill Clinton and George W. Bush literally going on television saying, actually, I can tell you exactly what they said. Here's what they said.
We just need cash. I know a lot of people want to send blankets or water. Just send your cash.
So they just wanted cash, and that initially went to their own individual foundations because the Clinton-Bush Haiti Foundation hadn't been set up yet. And I'm one that waits for annual reports, and it doesn't show up. No money shows up. Maybe $50 million here or there, but there were billions of dollars were pledged. And where's the money? It's gone. But meanwhile, Marriott's building hotels. We've got all kinds of groovy stuff going on. Just pay no attention to the hundreds of thousands of people who are still stuck in cholera-infested mud tents.
Sean Penn, who's trying to pick up on a bit of this?
Yeah, I think Sean Penn actually has his heart in the right place.
2012 here. How do you feel about predictions of doom, gloom, and Mayan calendar activities later this year?
It's very interesting. I am a student of theology in that regard. Look, the Earth is not going to blow up and go away. The Earth has been around for a long, long time. People may become extinct. I think we're on a pretty good track to do that. But it is interesting to note, and if John were a part of this interview, he'd say, no, it's just a cycle, and it happens every 40 years, every 80 years, and it's time again. But it does look like we are going for a worldwide financial crisis. Europe is definitely going to bring the world economy down. And that will be a very interesting type of depression that we'll be in, since we never really got out of the recession. Because we'll still have entertainment, we'll still have, we'll have neighbors and we'll have other weird, crappy stuff to look at. And so we will be distracted in that regard. But it's going to be really, really bad. And just look at what's happening already with the so-called austerity measures of Greece and Portugal and Spain and Italy and now the Netherlands and the UK. And it's all to pay back banks. So we are going to go into some kind of turmoil, and people are going to get very angry about it and are not going to stand for it, and there will be unrest. So in that regard, 2012, you could have almost predicted it as a part of the 40-year cycle. Coincides nicely with a little bit of a fairy tale. Maybe it's just made up to make people think that it wasn't really the bankers who did it. It was all just in the cosmos. What will we find? What will we really know about what's going on? I don't think we're going to see it. And if you don't see it, then people won't believe it. They're going to take it from me, some crazy kook in Texas on a podcast?
How do you go when you go out to dinner with your fiancée and you lay your theories on people?
Oh, no, I'm very careful about that. No, I've learned. We started our relationship with an argument over politics, and she called me jaded, which really got me going. And that's really one of the reasons we fell in love. Obama is really great. That's how it started. And she said she was in Los Angeles living at the time when the President Obama was elected into office, not for the inauguration. And I said, no, this guy is going to be horrible. He's just another shill for the bankers, and it's gonna suck. And she pointed out, she said, yeah, but when someone makes all the people feel good, there is value to that. And I agree with her. And I've become very cautious at just laying into people because it makes you extremely unpopular. It's very shocking because of course I have an answer for everything. I often just go, oh yeah, that's great. Yeah.
You're listening to Adam Curry from the No Agenda Show. Now, Adam, do you get the squeeze of the hand, the kick under the table, or do you get the stink eye? How's the normal...
Stink eye. Oh, stink eye. Oh, I get the big stink eye. Yeah. But I've learned, Maynard, I really have. I've learned to just be calm. I can talk about all kinds. Not about sports. I'm not that good. But I can just oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's cool. And maybe I'll say, oh, maybe listen to the show, if you like it, we should talk again. There are certain topics, and we actually discuss these a lot on the show, that you can use during a cocktail party. and little things you can throw out there. More often than not these days, people go, oh, yeah, that's right, man. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah, that's really weird.
Will they get you a date, Adam?
Oh, it gets you laid without a doubt. That's that's why we do them. We want to make sure you look interesting, and therefore you can definitely get laid.
Give us the surefire one, the one that would be on the top of the list, you think. Come on. Enchant me. That's what they say there. Enchant me with this idea.
Current one would be, for instance, hey, did you know that you've heard of MF Global? That the $1.2 billion is missing. So did you know that the boss of that company, Corzine, that he was actually President Obama's financial advisor, that he advised the president on how to run the American economy, and now his company went bankrupt? And people usually go, wow, really? I didn't know that. Oh, that's really interesting. And then you got to, buy another round of drinks, and then you're good to go.
And then you could probably bring up the whole Clooney and his undies stuff. We get into the deep and the important issues and the burning social issue of today, which I think you are the man to take head on, as you do in all the issues you confront. Are tights pants, Adam Curry?
Well, I think
it's a civil liberty issue versus enough is enough people issue.
I think from a libertarian standpoint, a constitutional standpoint.
Has Ron Paul issued a statement on this at all?
He has not. I actually asked him a similar question once, whether he was a scruncher or a folder when it comes to how he uses toilet paper. He found that a very irrelevant question. I think it depends. It's all I can say is, if you can see the camel's toe, it's probably not good to be wearing them, and therefore are disqualified as pants.
Oh, by the way, the clip show, fucking fantastic. I love it.
Yes. Shoot John an email. He'll appreciate that, because he worked really hard on that.
In fact, I've listened to it, and I'm thinking, hey, I should listen to this in an altered state. I'm actually thinking, it could be like the Fifth Element. You go see it straight, then you go see it, I don't know, on acid or coked or on weed, and then maybe the clip show's like that. It's a 2-listener show.
Lots of people listen to it twice.
Your media model is unique, and there's certain similarities with other areas, but is unique.
We believe that one day, because they all have the
when you see something like the Louis C.K. thing, do you see that as a signifier or a bump on the road, or only he can do that?
The future, media, but also products, is the consumers. Look at Kickstarter.com. People want stuff, and they're happy to band together and say, yeah, I want an iPhone that does it this way. And they'll pay for it, and they'll pay their little bit, and they'll get more. The people who are going to produce that can do it. I mean, you can outsource your shit to China or whatever you want to get stuff done. The future is not big companies. There's no doubt. So we're showing that. What Louis C.K. did is a very good example. Very good. This guy is very smart. We're going to see a lot more of that. I mean, you just got to have trust. Forget this piracy fucking shit. Look at what's happening. I didn't come up with douchebag. I would never say, hey, you know what? Why don't we call people who don't donate to the show douchebags? That would be funny. You'd never come up with that. But when other listeners start calling their friends out, it's gold. Douchebag. There's a very small percentage that actually contributes to the show, but it's enough.
Okay, look, occasionally you come up, like, what was that one? The Rock? You should have a rock that's minding the house or something? Was that something of the week?
We think it's funnier just to think up the products. If Eric actually does it, it's crazy enough. But we just love coming up with dumb shit.
A red book that you can buy that's got nothing in it. It's just a red book.
I want to do the Pencil of Promise. I thought that was pretty funny.
Pencil of Promise. That's right. The Pencil of Promise and the Biro of Buggery. Yeah, and I think the Biro of Buggery. I think that's the new one for you.
Biro buggery. You should definitely, I think what would be interesting with John is if you get into his cycles thing.
Has he got anything online that he's written about it?
Yeah, he's got a book. You know that. He's got a book that will never be published.
It just isn't published.
It'll never be published. They're not going to publish that. No way.
When he gets on This Week in Tech or one of Leo's shows, and you have one of the young whippersnappers that comes on and...
Well, what's funny is that I'll sit at home and we'll be on Skype. You should watch him. Watch how he's always like looking over at the keyboard and then typing something. Cause I'm just sitting there being slap that bitch. And I'm just like riling him up, just getting him completely crazy. Like Leo will have some gadget and then I'll be like, throw it on the floor, smash it. Come on, man, smash it. And I'm just, we love doing that.
I was DJing a year ago on a double-decker bus for an 18th birthday party for a friend. And this 18-year-old kid just comes up talking to me, and we're talking about iTunes, and that led to podcasting. And he was a No Agenda listener.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
This is great. 18-year-old kid in the suburbs of Newcastle, one of the industrial towns of Australia. Listen to No Agenda, knowing all the memes, taking stuff to high school that you guys recommend, that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
He's either the really cool guy at school or the daggy guy at school. The No Agenda concept, you should bring in pronoia, unknown people out there working for your good. Pronoia.
Pronoia.
That's right. Unknown, unseen people out there secretly working for your good. Pronoia. Thank you very much for your time today. More pronoia for you guys.
Yes. Well, I'm serious about that beer. It will happen in our lifetime.
You never know what's in the future.
Well, be careful what you wish for.
On Maynard.com.au. Hey, you!